Viewers, US President Donald Trump has claimed a ceasefire. The India-Pakistan ceasefire that has been agreed upon is what US President Donald Trump has claimed. He's put that out on his social media account. We're putting that on your screens right now. On Truth Social, that is his social media platform, where he has said that after a long night of talks mediated by the United States, I am pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. That is what US President Donald Trump has said, a full, immediate ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Goes on to say that congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So that is the first big announcement of a ceasefire has been claimed by US President Donald Trump, who's put this out right now on his platform, Truth Social, where he has said that India and Pakistan have agreed to an immediate ceasefire. That's the most important part, mediated by the US, that there is now going to be a full and immediate ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Remember, Pakistan climbed up the escalation matrix in the last 48 hours. India responded in a both measured and responsible manner. It busted the Pakistani misinformation campaign and at the same time said that it is going to respond proportionately. It will respond to Pakistan after it goes up the escalation matrix. But all along, India has been clear that Operation Sindoor was and is about dismantling the terror infrastructure on Pakistan and Pakistan-occupied Kashmir. But now, as it climbed up the escalation matrix, India responded in a measured and responsible manner. But right now, the big breaking news that's coming in on your screens right now, viewers, if you're just tuning in, US President Donald Trump has claimed on his social media account that there is an immediate and full ceasefire between India and Pakistan. Remember, a couple of hours earlier, there was Marco Rubio, US Secretary of State, and acting National Security Advisor, who dialed up External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar. Let me quickly now get in my colleague Vishal Vivek, who's joining us live for this big news coming in as we speak. Vishal, extremely important, significant. Donald Trump announcing and claiming on his account immediate and full ceasefire.
Well, this is huge considering the fact that there had been several meetings in the last 48 to 72 hours between
I'm going to come back to you. Vishal, stay with us. I'm going to come back to you. Let me quickly first go across to my colleague Nikunj Garg, who's giving us all the details of this big breaking news that's coming in right now. Nikunj, extremely significant, full and immediate ceasefire being announced by US President Donald Trump for India and Pakistan.
Well, Gauri, it's extremely significant, no doubt about it. But we will have to wait and cautiously wait for the Indian government to react. And the story will be completed only and only when the Indian government announces from its side what is the contour of this deal that Mr. Trump is supposedly announcing. Currently, what we can inform to our viewers is only this, that American President Donald Trump has posted on his social media account. He has a particular social media account which is not on X, but he uses Truth Social, another platform, another social media platform. On that, Mr. Trump has posted that after very intense negotiations of yesterday, whole of night, India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. This is a claim that the American president is making. As I said, we can only confirm it to our viewers once we have an official version of Mr. Trump's claim in the form of a Government of India announcement, which is likely to happen during the press conference that is slated by the Government of India in some minutes from now. So in some minutes from now, probably around 20 odd minutes, if it all goes on time, we can have an announcement from the Government of India to this nature. However, for the want of that, we will continue to caution our viewers that Mr. Trump, the American president, has maintained on a social media account that he routinely uses that India and Pakistan have both agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. And this is what we are currently reporting, only reflecting for our viewers, as I reiterate, Mr. Trump's version without any word from the Government of India on this matter. And NDTV obviously will go per the Government of India's version when it comes fully, completely and totally. Therefore, as of now, the only piece of information that we can put out for our viewers under the given set of circumstances is that American President Mr. Donald Trump, in a sudden move, has announced on his social media handle that India and Pakistan, due to intense negotiations, we are also not saying due to American negotiations, but due to intense negotiations overnight, have decided that there will be a full and immediate ceasefire. And therefore, what we can say and what we can do at this point in time is to reflect the news as it comes in, and that is what we are doing at NDTV. Gauri?
Absolutely, Nikunj. This is what we've been saying and reflecting as well, that this is a claim that has been made by US President Donald Trump about an immediate and full ceasefire. Details of this, contours of that are awaited and will be given by Government of India, that NDTV will continue to give to our viewers. And at this stage, that's all that we have right now, a claim by US President Donald Trump. He put out on his social media account, Truth Social. But in fact, there are also now updates coming in from several other US government handles, including that from Secretary of State as well. In fact, Marco Rubio's statement also coming in on platform X after the announcement that has been made by President Trump. You're right about the fact that it's a sudden announcement that's come in with no details, no contours whatsoever. But there's also an update that's come in from Secretary Marco Rubio, further to what President Trump has said, and we can put that out as well, which says that over the past 48 hours, Vice President Vance and I have engaged with senior Indian and Pakistani officials, including Prime Minister Modi and Shahbaz Sharif, External Affairs Minister Dr. Jaishankar, Chief of Army Staff Asim Munir, and NSA Najib Doval and Asim Malik. And he says, Marco Rubio's account says that I'm pleased to announce the governments of India and Pakistan have agreed to an immediate ceasefire and to start talks on a broad set of issues at a neutral site. This is what is being said by Secretary of State, US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and then he goes on to say, we commend Prime Minister Modi and Sharif on their wisdom, prudence and statesmanship in choosing the path of peace. Again, this is an announcement made by the US, first the US President Donald Trump, and now, of course, further to that, the Secretary of State Marco Rubio. My colleague Vishnu Som also joins me on this.
Gauri, and just like that, it appears that this might just be the beginning of the end. It's almost unbelievable the manner in which it escalated, and it is almost as unbelievable if it de-escalates in quite the manner that it has. For the benefit of our viewers who are just joining us, an entirely unexpected message on Truth Social, which is Donald Trump's social media site, where he said that, look, they have negotiated throughout the night, and on the basis of those negotiations, there will be an immediate ceasefire which takes place. I'm going to read out very briefly, and Gauri's already done that, but just for the benefit of our viewers joining us, the message of Trump: after a long night of talks mediated by the United States, I'm pleased to announce that India and Pakistan have agreed to a full and immediate ceasefire. Congratulations to both countries on using common sense and great intelligence. Thank you for your attention to this matter. Now, in 16 minutes, sorry.
16 minutes.
16 minutes from now, there'll be a press conference being addressed by the External Affairs Ministry. We do expect the Foreign Secretary of India to be there. We also will likely see those two spokespersons of the Air Force and the Army. It's been a day of hectic military activity between India and Pakistan. There have been any number of attacks which have come in. There have been any number of attacks which India has also done. But will we get clarity on this? Because this is when the entire world will be watching that press conference.
Yes.
Marco Rubio, the US Secretary of State, has also come out with the message. He commends the Prime Minister Modi and the Pakistan Prime Minister. Gauri.
Indeed. And Vishnu, contours of that, what will be the details of this ceasefire? What all were the back channel lines of communication that have led to this? All those are, of course, gaps that we are going to try and fill for our viewers in a credible, informed manner. But first, of course, has to be how this ceasefire will actually begin. What will be that broad contours?
I would like to bring in Shiv Arur at this stage. Shiv, it's almost, it's a sense of disbelief for me, because what we have been discussing through the day has been are we headed to a path of escalation? Has there been armor which has been deployed forward? What do we mean by the statement of the colonel in the army who said that their soldiers have been pushed forward? Where are we heading? How much longer will Shiv stay in Srinagar? These were important issues that we were discussing, and now Donald Trump has evidently changed the course of history. And I can't think, it's wonderful that there will be no war. No one wants war. No one wants deaths. And if this happens in this manner, it would be remarkable. I'm still in a sense of disbelief. So I'm processing this, Shiv. I don't know if to believe it or not, but what do you think?
Well, it's Trump, and since he's put it out in all his official accounts, I'm guessing it's true and it's not a joke. It is an authentic account. Truly a surreal few hours,
Shiv,
isn't it?
Interrupting you, breaking news coming in. Shiv, sorry, hold on, but don't go away. Ishaq Dar, the foreign minister of Pakistan, on Twitter, Pakistan and India have agreed to a ceasefire with immediate effect. Pakistan has always strived for peace and security in the region without compromising on its sovereignty and territorial integrity. This is a confirmed statement. Pakistan now out with a tweet where they have said that both our countries have agreed to a ceasefire with immediate effect. We are moving beyond Trump and Marco Rubio to the Pakistani foreign minister. Shiv, carry on.
Absolutely surreal sequence of events. Ishaq Dar, the minister in Pakistan, the president of the United States, announcing a ceasefire, which we expect India to reflect at that press conference that's coming up in 10 minutes from now, Gauri and Vishnu. Just a few hours after India detailed all the air bases in Pakistan that it had struck with long-range, offensive weapons. This is as surreal as it gets, you're right. It seemed like things were escalating, but clearly there were phone calls being made in the background between the President of the United States, the Prime Minister of India, the Prime Minister of Pakistan, the foreign ministers of the two countries, and the national security advisors. He's also talked about the two countries discussing issues at a neutral site. I don't know what that means, because India would never agree to something like that unless Trump has something else up his sleeve. But after 3 days of frenetic, kinetic escalation, hour on hour, artillery, anti-tank guided missiles, short-range surface-to-surface ballistic missiles, S-400s, BrahMos, Scalp, Rafale, all of these, coming into a truly chaotic battlefield between the two countries. Suddenly on social media up pops this one tweet, which everyone instinctively first thought it was fake, but it turns out to be real. So it is Trump having announced that ceasefire. And I think today's press conference, where we were actually expecting more details about the escalation, is probably going to be India announcing that ceasefire as well.
Indeed. India is yet to announce that ceasefire, and we've got to wait for that final 12-odd minutes. But it's very important to announce that this announcement is coming in first, of course, the US President Donald Trump saying it, Marco Rubio, of course, following it up, and then, of course, the Pakistani side saying, Indian side will say that in just a bit as well. But I think, Vishnu...
We hope.
We hope.
We've got 12 minutes.
12 minutes till we confirm.
Has not made any statement so far. Yes. There is a press conference in
scheduled
11 minutes.
6 o'clock. Yes.
6 p.m. is when it's going to start. We really need to wait and see, what's going to happen, because it's remarkable. To me, Gauri, the most clear sign that we may be headed towards something substantive is that statement by the Pakistani foreign minister, who has said, and I quote, Pakistan and India have agreed to a ceasefire with immediate effect. He said this after Trump. He said this after Marco Rubio. Just this morning, we were talking about, dogfights in the skies, BrahMos missiles being fired, armor potentially being moved up, drone strikes. And now this evening, less than 24 hours later, Trump says, because that's where it started, Donald Trump says, it's over, it's done. Right? As simple as that. Now, if Trump has managed to right-size this conflict between two nuclear-armed neighbors, it has to be said that is truly something.
Indeed. And today also saw hectic diplomatic parleys, didn't it, Vishnu? There was calls between Marco Rubio and Dr. Jaishankar. Of course, he also spoke to the Pakistani General Asim Munir. Then there were other set of back-channel lines of communication that were activated through the day. Apart from the military side that you were mentioning, there were all these diplomatic parleys that also took place. Of course, the sudden announcement is yet to be announced by India. That is something we are yet to be waiting for.
We've got some more breaking news coming in. On sources, we can tell our viewers there has been the stoppage of fire.
Yes.
The stoppage of firing and military action between India and Pakistan has been worked out directly between India and Pakistan. The Director General of Military Operations from Pakistan initiated the call this afternoon, after which discussions took place and an understanding has been reached. This is an Indian reaction, albeit on sources. We expect this to be finalized. These are usually reliable sources. However, there is no decision to hold talks on any other issue at any other place. This is absolutely huge. This is on sources. 10 minutes from now, 9 minutes, there'll be a press conference.
Confirmation will come in.